Hello everyone and welcome to another video in the Road to the World Champs series that we're doing here at PMTT. If you are just watching this video without watching all the previous ones, not sure how the algorithm sent you here, but hopefully you still find it entertaining. Otherwise, go back and check out some of the previous ones to learn about all the other preparation that I have done and have planned for the Age of Sigmar World Championship over in Atlanta in the US in November this year. So last time I was kind of talking about what I've been planning in regards to my list. I'm currently leaning towards Sylvaneth in the big block of 9 Kernoth Hunters. And in the last week, I've managed to play 4 games. I went to a little one-dayer on the weekend to test it out and see how it goes. So overall, I'm still really liking the list. I'm really liking how it plays on the table. I'm really enjoying how it interacts with my opponent's army. Just a quick crash course through the list so that people understand it all properly. The main part of the list is a big block of 9 Kernoth Hunters with sides. They're backed up by 2 units of 3 Kernoth Hunters with swords and 2 units of tree revs. There's also a Branch Witch with Fortuitous Harmony and the Vespal Gem to bring back a Kernoth Hunter. An Archrev, who's my general with Warsinger, gives a little bonus to movement and to wound rolls for Kernoth Hunters. And Drycha as well as just a bit of a power piece just with her shooting attack and scalpeling abilities. But going into a bit more details about the games, one of the games I played was against Gargants. 2 games were against Khorne, and the last game was against KO. So I managed to get the win against Gargants and both Khorne lists, but I did lose to KO. Overall, they're kind of the results I was hoping for, or at least expecting. The Gargants game was a really good lesson in just sitting back, playing the points, being patient, letting him kind of come to me. And then both Khorne games, my opponents both went really hard really early. One game saw my opponent get a Bloodthirster into my deployment like top of 1 first turn, and he just kept throwing Bloodthirsters into me. So I was basically tanky enough to take that hit and then counter back and be able to remove them. And then got the win by kind of dealing with all his Thirsters. He had 4 in that list. And then being able to kind of mop up his other smaller units with what I had left. So in the other game with Khorne, he had Be'lakor, which was really annoying. Very interesting to play against. Be'lakor is such a powerful piece. I don't know why more people don't play him. He is really good. His ability is insane. He used it to basically shut down Drycha for 2 turns, which was huge. And he did that because he was focusing on trying to kill the block of the 9 Kernoth Hunters. So he thought that was the better play there. But he got them down to a single model before I could kind of get enough stuff into his army to kind of save them and get them out of that big growing combat in the center of the table. And from there, I was kind of able to grind it out with them. The Kernoth Hunters with swords doing amazing work with clearing out whole units of chaff, the Blood Reavers and Blood Letters, and kind of also tanking a lot of the stuff that he was throwing at me as well. So they were 3 fairly solid wins that I got with the list. So I'm very happy with how they played. The only loss that I've had recently with this list was against a KO player. He is a very good player, and KO is always a very hard matchup for Sylvaneth. So I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised that I lost that game. He went in really hard, really early. Committed everything to clearing the block of 9 sides on the top of the first turn, and he did it with about 2 or 3 attacks to spare, and he put everything in his list into them. And then my counterpunch just didn't do enough, and then I didn't get the double, is basically how it worked out. I think if my dice were a bit better going into him, in my turn I killed a few more of his units, I managed to put a bit more damage through, or I got the double, where there might have still been a bit of a game into it, but How it worked out is he basically then just cleared off the rest of my army on that next turn, and I was kind of just scrambling for points. So the one big benefit of finishing so early is we got to have a really good long chat after the game about kind of the different ways we could have like I could have played it to do things differently. So I'm hoping that I'll get to play him again in a rematch in the tournament environment, which will be good. And then I can see how it goes now that like I know more. I've got a better understanding of what his list can exactly do. He's also an excellent player, so we had a big chat about kind of how the list is going, how I'm planning on playing it, how it is working into the meta. And yeah, he offered some really good ideas, some good suggestions. I'm not sure if I'm going to change the list. Some of his other ideas are really cool, but very high risk, high reward, and they don't really suit my play style. So yeah, we'll see. But I've definitely got people assisting me with this list design to try and come up with the best possible. One of the big things that he identified with kind of how I was playing it and how I was going is he said one of the biggest things I need is just reps. I just need to keep playing the same list, same list, same list. He recommends reps over small tweaks a lot of the time. Just changing out a unit or two, unless it's kind of a core part of the list, um, it doesn't have as much of an effect as just getting another half dozen games in with that list against different opponents. So seeing it in different scenarios on the table, seeing how it can adapt and change. So, but really positive results. I'm really happy with how everything went. Even kind of seeing how they're playing into different people, into different armies, is really good. And it's really good to kind of keep getting that good feedback as well. Also managed to pick up a painting prize at the one-day tournament that I went to, which is really good because once again it's a G-Dub tournament. We don't know what the players pack is yet, and so it might have a higher focus on painting and sportsmanship than just your normal, just kind of win at all costs style tournament. So good to know as well that at least in the local area, my painting is up there, and that's definitely one of the reasons I'm kind of leaning more towards the Sylvaneth than the Seraphon. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a full written battle report on this one dayer, only because in the next weekend I've got a big 2 dayer, big 64 player GT that I'll be attending with the exact same list. So I'm thinking I'll just kind of hold the battle report off until that. So, but I'm really looking forward to that one as well. That'll be another 5 games, really good tournament environment. This is the 4th year that this tournament has been run, and it's always an absolutely fantastic time. So the hosts do a great job. Um, so yeah, really looking forward to that. So I'll have more updates for you next week. See everyone next time. Bye.